Okay, Channel 79, I think we are going to be called to order now, wherever you may be, Channel 79. Anyway, so we are called to order. And as a first order of business, I'd like to have a motion that we adjourn to executive session to meet with legal counsel concerning potential claim.
So moved.
Thank you. A second? Thank you. All in favor, raise your hand, please. That is unanimous. Right, Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay.
Sorry, I gotta take notes here.
Okay.
I'm a little behind.
And we're back in regular session. Okay, next on the agenda is a review of the minutes of July 14, 2021. Have everybody had a chance to review those?
Yep.
All right, I'd have a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Thank you. Motion to, a second of that motion, please. Thank you. Any comments, edits, corrections? Then all those in favor, please raise your hand of approval as written. Good. Mr. Lamont, I know he's waving in it, yes. Right, you approve that? Thank you, Mr. Martin, nicely done. Next item on the agenda is consideration of 17-019, which was subject of a hearing at our last meeting where the homeowner participated, and we made arrangements to facilitate the cleanup of that property with delivery of a good-size dumpster, I must say. And so maybe Mr. Solito can tell us where we are today.
Sure, the report is, it's listed, it's in numerical order by date, so you can go to 17-019
Okay.
For that address. And all the information's there, however, it's what I'd like to, when you get there, toward the back of that section, you'll see digital images of the property taken today at 4 o'clock. And it's much improved. It's, like I said, a lot of the lawn was cut. It's still, a little raggedy, but it's much improved from what it was. And in saying, I would be hard pressed to qualify that as a blight condition the way it sits now.
Okay.
And the two vehicles are still there, which is a violation of one of the blight issues, but it's only one that they are, so it would fall out of the blight contention. So as it stands now, I would say that there is only that one violation on the property.
Okay. And I think, so the record's clear, one vehicle is unregistered, the other vehicle is registered and operated, I think, regularly.
Okay.
So I think without any finding by the blight prevention officer that there is a suggestion of a blight condition, then we don't have any further action to take on that property at this time.
Ali, did you think to ask her if she was able to get a title for that vehicle?
She's still waiting on it. On both, and two of them she said that she was waiting for. She's in touch with the MV, but she hasn't been able to get them yet. She says she's still working on it.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, well,
Just-
it will remain on the list to be watched.
Well, that's, I was gonna ask, how would you like to downgrade this just to a watch for a period of time where I keep my eye on it for 6 months and make sure it doesn't,
Well, if we're not gonna have an official blight determination, I think downgrade it to watch.
yeah.
Watch would be the next,
Yes,
category. So.
right,
Good,
okay,
And I'm
Yeah.
gonna call her and let her know, so that
Good.
she'll
No.
know that
yeah, no.
give her the good
we
news,
Let her
yeah,
know.
appreciate working with you and.
yeah.
No, we appreciate her efforts, whoever else
Yeah.
may have helped her.
Thank you very much for her help. We would love to know when she is successful in getting the titles for the vehicles.
And again, to remind you that she can get those vehicles registered to eliminate that last barrier.
Well, then she's trying to get rid of them, but she couldn't
Yeah.
sell them until she, right? Isn't that
Yes, that's what she told us, yeah. She has somebody ready to buy them.
Yeah.
If she can, so. Good, okay, well, that's progress, thanks. Okay, Mr. Solito, then let's go to the broader list.
Okay.
And if you would, focus first on a couple where you are suggesting determinations
Okay.
or warning of that.
Yes.
Since we have counsel here, we want
The first one is right after the one that we were just speaking about. So if you had that open to that, just continue on to the next case, which is 18-002.
to. Okay. I understand that is now owned by a bank, right?
It is owned by a bank. I sent, once I found out, I tried contacting getting a contact in person with the property preservation company. I got no return call or anything back. So I went ahead on the 14th of June, and I sent an official warning letter to the CEO of the company of ownership. Now, that's always been standard when dealing with fire marshal issues. The assistant state's attorneys direct us, that's who you have to send notice to. The CEOs are main member to their home address, and that's why they're listed that way.
Mm-hmm.
So that was sent. I sent a copy, a cover letter, and a copy of that same blight warning letter to the property preservation company, figuring eventually hopefully they would step in and just come in to get something done. We return receipt of the blight warning letter was received on June 21st to the responsible parties, so they were aware, they received the notice, they are aware, and there's been no contact by any party, nor has there been any improvement in the property. And that's where we are with this. Now, after that page, you will see that there are some black and white photos of what the property looks like. There's a couple of them, or a few of them. And it's becoming overgrown, but there are people living there. The old owners before it was foreclosed, yes.
Wait, so this house is occupied?
It is occupied, yes.
So the bank has foreclosed on it and has not evicted them?
No, I don't think that's really unusual.
It takes a while,
Yeah, to get, especially with the,
the moratorium.
right, exactly.
Oh, yeah, there's a
so-
moratorium on
But it
evictions.
wouldn't apply to this, I think, because we've had a couple of evictions where the houses were foreclosed. It started before COVID, it's not COVID related.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and this wasn't, now, that this had been on a list on and off for a few years. That's why it's got an 18-002 designation. And it had been overgrown, and people are a little bit, from what I understand, I don't know. But they had done some work, these people had done some work enough to spruce it up, although the neighbors kept complaining it was okay. And it seems that since they lost the house, they've done nothing, and the summer is pretty much just.
So you sent a letter warning them of your concerns of blight condition, and you itemized those, and did you give them a specific time frame within which to clean it up?
The warning letter was, I believe I didn't think about bringing a copy, I should have. But I believe that there is a 30-day, please contact within 30 days.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, now that I remember, yes, it was 30 days.
Okay.
And that's why it being since mid-June, July, August, we're almost
Yeah,
at
we're
3
well
months
beyond.
and they haven't.
So what are the specific areas of blight that we are dealing with, as far as you're concerned?
With this, well, there's an unregistered and junk motor vehicle on the property, and if you look at the photos, the house is being, engulfed in weeds, ivy, the bushes and stuff are extremely overgrown. The grass, they have been cutting the grass sporadically, but at any stage, it's not there. actually, if the whole backyard is grown over, you'll see that if you take a look at I know that's black and white, but you'll notice that the paint's peeling in a lot of places, and rotting in the windows. And
The antenna is
Antenna hanging off.
yeah,
dangling,
the antenna, right,
dangling.
exactly. So,
Okay,
yeah,
so with those items in mind, we should send a letter to the owner, letting them know that at our next meeting, we will determine whether or not we believe a blight condition exists, and they are given the opportunity to be heard at that next meeting.
okay, so if I get the notice out tomorrow, would the next meeting be okay, the October meeting?
Yeah, as it happens, as a matter of fact, so that would be the 13th, I think, of
Okay.
October would be the next meeting. As it happens, I can't be here for that. Would there be an interest of postponing it a week, and that would give, clear 30 days plus a couple? Does that make sense to anybody?
Fine.
Yeah, okay.
13th.
So the 20th.
So it'd be the 20th,
The 20th, yeah, I can do the 20th.
Wednesday the 20th?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. Good, then let's make that the next operative date.
So I'm gonna send the violations /
Warning of,
the violations, we had, the way we have done it, where we were doing it recently, was the violation / meeting.
yes,
uh,
notice of
meeting
violation
notice of meeting.
with a
Okay.
date for the hearing to determine if a blight condition exists.
Right,
Okay.
okay, got
In a
that.
sense, we're lucky that the bank owns it.
You would think.
They know what money means.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's just, you would think that,
Why
somebody
wouldn't
would,
they responded already?
even the CEO comes in and gives a letter to his secretary, here, make sure so-and-so gets this.
Yes, exactly.
Might be worth, with your permission, to make a phone call, because we have a contact person.
Yes,
To say, this is who we are, this is what's happening, I'd like to know what you're gonna do about it.
good.
Yeah, I don't have a phone number though, for the
Oh.
owner. I could,
For the people who are living there?
oh, no,
You're talking about the bank.
I'm not
The
talking about
bank.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
people that are living there don't care.
I know, that's
Right.
why I was.
yeah,
Search the internet for the company you were talking about.
yeah, okay.
Preservation
I will-
and protection.
Yeah, I'll give it another try.
But in the meantime, gotta dot the i's and so send the letter.
Okay.
And the blight prevention officer can sign that letter, right? Or does it? Yeah, good, okay.
Okay.
All right, and you had another one in that category, I
Yes,
think.
I believe it is the last one. Yeah, 21-001.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, and there is a photo, it's house has been vacant for over a year. I believe that the owner is
In a
infirmed or.
nursing home.
Hmm?
In a nursing home.
In a nursing home. And his niece is taking care of his, that's the, care of so-and-so. So I sent because the person's name is still the Darien address. So I sent notice to, I got it, her name, Titus, Lori Titus, right?
Yeah.
All right, I sent notice to her, she lives in eastern Connecticut.
Whatever,
Where,
it's okay.
but anyway, sent notice to her. It was received, let's see, sent notice, caretaker of property on July 1st. Electronic confirmation was received that it was delivered July 3rd. Okay, so
How
we
did
know
you
that
get
she
her-
got the notice.
How'd you get her name and address?
I have her name and address.
How did you get that?
Oh, that was on, in the tax files. Her
Okay.
name and address are on the tax
Okay,
files.
that's where the tax bill goes.
Yeah, Amy had
Power of
her,
attorney.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
Amy had her phone number. She forwarded it to me. It went to voicemail, but it was her, Lori Titus. Left her message explaining what we're doing, asking her to please give me a call, hopefully prior to this meeting, but I haven't received anything back from her yet. whatsoever.
And the house is on the market, right?
The house is on the market. I spoke to the real estate agent because I called the real estate office. And she said that, and I don't know how these things work, but she said she'd been trying to get in touch with her for a year, but hasn't returned her phone calls.
The niece?
Yes, this is the real estate agent said
Right.
this, which is, I mean, don't listings only last a certain amount of time?
Yeah,
1 year.
6 months.
Pardon me?
Generally 1 year.
Is it a year,
Oh,
6 months?
I'm sorry,
I think
right.
6
Yeah,
months.
so I don't, she said she hasn't spoken to her a year, but I don't know how she still has the listing, but.
All right, well, in
Don't
the
know.
interest of the neighborhood, I think we ought to send a letter.
Well, Bob, let's just review then quickly,
Mhm.
looking at this one picture. Is this vehicle still registered?
No, that's not their vehicle, that was just parked on the street.
Just
That-
parked on the street?
Yeah,
So
it's a
what-
very thin piece of property, I don't think it's bigger than, wider than this room.
Mhm.
But the front, in front of it is all overgrown and it goes, extends all the way to the back. The
All right,
bushes
so-
are all, so everything's at least
So
3 feet high.
that's one item, so what's the second item?
Oh,
Because from looking at this picture, it's hard for me
yeah,
to discern.
it was having to do with, there was one of the violations that have to do with the, not causing the potential of, nesting for rodents
Oh,
and vermin
yes,
and.
okay. Pest
and,
infestation.
Other options, and because it's gotten that high,
Mhm.
it's progressed to that level. It's not
Okay.
just like grass that's a foot high,
Right.
it's, yeah.
And the other housing structures are very nearby.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. They are, they're very,
I can see it.
yes, exactly. You can tell how thin it is, and that's really, that's as wide as the property is. I think there's a driveway on one side and maybe
Yeah,
5
I'm having
feet.
trouble making it out. So just so, what I'm looking at here, the lower property on the house on the left, that's one of the neighbors, right?
Correct, that
And
one,
the
yes.
house we're looking at has the effectively flat front porch and
Correct,
flat
and that-
roof line.
And what's on the right of it. It's a different roof line, but that's part of the structure.
That's part of the structure
Yeah.
as well.
Different color shingles.
Correct.
Okay.
And you'll see the picket fence that's
Got it.
after that.
Yeah.
That's the demising from the house to the right.
To the right, okay. Got it.
So do you recall the specifics of what you put in your letter of warning to these folks?
Yes, I have,
Okay.
yeah, I've got it
Okay.
all, like,
All right, and it had to
Boilerplate.
do with the overgrowth and the possible pest infestation
Mhm.
in particular? Okay.
yes.
So, all right, so shall we have a letter or telling the folks that we will, at our next meeting, consider whether a blight condition exists?
Yep.
I have a motion to that effect. I'm not sure I did that in the, Mr. Lamont, Mr. Etter, second. In favor, all say, raise your hands. Thank you. Okay, so that's done. We ought to, for the record, do that on the other one. I don't think we did that on 18002. So can I have a motion to send the same letter for notice of hearing on 18002? Thank you, Mr. Lamont, Mr. Etter, second. Everybody, please raise your hand if in favor. Thank you. Okay, with council here, I don't want to take any chances. Okay, good. And I think we're all set? Good. Many thanks.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Thanks.
We'll be back in touch.
Yeah,
Take care. All right, then, Mr. Solito, back to the list.
okay. We start right on page 1, 16-001.
Yeah.
There has been, they finally have hired, or according to the daughter of the owner, have hired somebody to regularly go in and have the grass cut. It has been cut. They cleaned out the gutters. It looks much better. The lobster pots, all that whole pile is gone. The toys from the back are gone and mowed. There is still, and I sent her an email saying that that's fine, but she understands that there's still an issue with the pool that had collapsed. And I'm trying to put something together for David about you know, mosquitoes and, you know, the fact that it's there, or even forward something through the, you know, that we had a contact with the mortgage company, that I know insurance companies, they despise having an empty pool.
Sure, yeah.
An empty in-ground pool, and will make them, you know, fill it in.
Yeah.
So, you know, to me, that's the next biggest thing, just for the safety of anybody that might be, because the property is open. You know, kids could come walking in there and like, because the pool is kind of hidden now. There's all overgrowth on top of it, but if you like look in, there's broken page fencing, and you look in and it's all, you know, that's not good. So I'm really pushing to get that done. The back of the property is, like I said, there's open windows and water is continuing to deteriorate. There's gotta be water in the basement. There's gotta be water in the basement, but, like I said, that house is going to be a tear down. So, you know, as long as the stuff stays up on the second floor and it's not as accessible to people, but,
So is it occupied?
no, it hasn't been occupied in, 4 or 5 years or so at least,
Okay.
yeah.
And we know the owner, or we don't know the?
We do have the owner, but the owner is, he's the only contact we have. The daughter won't give up any kind of addresses. I have her phone number and I have her email, and that's how we've been communicating. And she's been good. She's been good about it. She's trying. So I'm just going to continue trying to get it abated until it falls off blight status. It's not there yet, but it is improving.
So this property is still on the watch status, right?
I wouldn't even put it on the watch list. I would keep it as it is. It's in, they're under notice. But in terms of giving them time extensions, I think we can, because of what they've done, we can give them a time extension to continue working on it.
Sorry, so what are the official categories that we're using then?
Well, one is on notice. You know what, I didn't bring that in. I've got to incorporate that in, thank you for that. But one is on notice, that's dark green, you'll see those are the ones that we have active notice of violations on. Then there is the ones that are in the warning stage where I've issued them a warning.
Right.
For instance, those 2 that we spoke about earlier were currently in that lighter green warning list, and
Yep.
now that we're gonna send them notice, that they will get bumped up to the warning.
Okay.
And then the yellow is the watch list. Once they've made improvement, they're no longer technically blighted, but because of history, I'm just keeping an eye on them. I visit them to make sure that they,
But a collapsing pool must be some sort of blight
Yeah.
condition.
yeah.
So watch is basically before under notice.
Yes.
Yeah.
A watch is before the warning.
Yes. Mr. Lamote?
In the meantime, as a very simple, I would think, from what you're saying, there was a fence around this pool. And it's just it's been broken at some point.
Yes.
In the meantime, I think we could request that be the first order of business to protect children in the neighborhood.
That would be, I would leave that up to them. Ultimately, I'd like to see it filled in, but if
Well,
you
yeah,
saw.
that's gonna take time.
Yes, I
In the
know.
meantime, some child could
It's,
wander into it.
it's not that easy because of the growth that has happened around the pool and the fence. You know, you're talking about, 6 and 8 feet high bushes that have grown up through the fences. I don't know that they're gonna be able to get into, you know what, to your point, I bet you they could do like at least a hurricane fence, or, the orange surrounds with yellow tape saying, caution, stay
That's
away.
something.
Have
So
them do that.
all right, so the property is still owned by an individual, it's not owned by a bank,
Correct. Yeah, that one's still owned by the individual.
and taxes are current.
I believe they are, yes. I know that they weren't maybe a year ago, but I will check with Kathy.
And if you can get them to put up the hurricane fence, it will remain under notice and not go to watch.
Yeah, I wouldn't put anything, I wouldn't put that down to watch because there's still too much that needs to be done there.
Put that up,
Yeah.
I
No.
refer it as up to watch, you're
No, I
escalating.
think that's back.
No,
The next
watch
step
is,
would be.
it goes from,
notice of
if
violation.
something's on watch, usually, I will say this, a watch would be if I get an initial complaint and I have to register it, technically it goes to watch. That's the first one.
Okay,
Okay.
that's
Right.
different
Right.
from what you
So,
told me.
watch, investigation. If I need to send a warning notice because I've found that, yes, in my opinion, you have blight violations, I
Right.
will first send them the warning.
And you have done that in this
Yeah.
case.
Yes.
All right, so hang on, let me make sure I got this right.
Sure.
The official categories are watch, or sorry. Watch,
Yeah.
under
Warning.
warning,
Mhm. And then notice of
No, and
and
violation
notice of violation.
Right, yeah.
with a hearing.
There's also closed, but you
Date.
don't want to see those.
No. No, we don't need that.
But yeah, that's what they are.
Okay, so at this point, you won't give them anything formal, but if you're in touch with
Well, isn't
them,
there's also a formal blight status, right?
that's what we do after the notice of violation with a
Right.
hearing date set. We have the hearing and determine whether or not there is a blight condition.
Okay.
So you'll talk with this person and
Yes.
and encourage that fence that Mr. Lamote.
Yes, and if at any point that they stop complying, you can choose to,
Yeah,
whatever.
Bring it.
You could reinstitute the fines, because I believe they're already in a fine status.
oh, they are? There's
How can
already
they-
been a
how-
determination?
How can they be in a fine status if they're not, if there's not an official blight?
Hold
condition?
on, no, let's see. Let me go here.
There was a date set for August 8 and.
Yes.
And September
Uh,
9 of 2020.
Back in, you're right, I have July of last year, there was a request, September 8th of last year, the owner was served a blight violation notice via the Marshal Service.
Okay. And
Um,
a citation was sent and returned to the town attorney on May 25th of this year. So they apparently
Right.
got their formal notice that fines are accruing.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
The one with this is that, and Wayne's gone unfortunately, is they sent a citation via Marshall,
Uh-huh.
right? And I had never received that. Usually he'll send me the confirmation, the document
Yeah.
on the service of this
Uh,
citation. I don't have it, it's not in the file.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
I can email them and I'll get that.
Here's my problem, all right? For consistency purposes, if they have been served an official notice of blight violation,
Yes,
then they are technically, there's been a determination of an official blight condition, right?
yes.
All right, so that's already happened, so this can't be an under warning property.
No.
Because it's an official blight condition property.
Okay,
Yes, no.
I have
Right,
information
we
here.
have to pick, we need to be consistent in how we speak about it,
Yes,
Right.
each property consistently, and each stage consistently.
All right, let me give you what I understand from council. And that is that at the board's meeting on December 9, 2020, it was determined that blight violations existed on the premises. They had not been abated, and to proceed with the citation process. On January 27, 2021, notice of the determination of violation was sent via certified mail to the homeowner, informing them they had 30 days to abate or daily fines would commence. The BPO, and there was a discussion of a plan of remediation. However, no further action had been taken. As such, daily fines have been accruing since February 26, 2021. By April 14 of 2021, the fines were $4,700. I've been in touch with the bank, but anyway, so that is, actively accruing fines.
Well, I guess you would have, it's actively accruing fine, but I don't know whether or not you have the power to suspend the temporary suspension of accrual of fines.
If they
It's-
ask us.
It's still under notice,
Yeah,
and they have done a lot of work in the past month.
yeah,
I don't know whether you have the power to say, you're still under a violation notice. But
Yeah.
because you've worked with us, we're gonna suspend the fines as of such and such. But if you stop working on the property, we're gonna start up the fines again. That's, you know what?
we would
that's-
need to
that's
hear
your
from them
procedural
about all
issue.
that.
I don't know how, you know.
We would need to hear from the owner or
Mhm.
an agent
Okay.
asking us that, explaining to us that situation. And I believe we can suspend it or eliminate it, but,
But I'll forward that invitation to the daughter,
okay.
Lisa, and let her know, Lisa
Good.
Scholar.
And she should let us know if she wants to be on the agenda for any particular meeting upcoming
Okay,
through you. Okay.
yeah.
Does she live locally?
I don't believe so. Because I have her email address and I have her phone number.
We've also been in touch with the bank,
Yeah.
and they've simply said, keep us posted. Okay. Okay, let's move
All right.
along.
Yes.
What else we got?
17-011.
The citation has been issued,
Yes,
therefore fines are accruing,
yes.
and we're not getting any particular improvement.
No, no.
All right.
The front's still the same, everything's kind of still the same.
Couldn't hurt to send them a letter to remind them fines are accruing.
I can do that, yes.
I do understand you have made some notation that the owner is elderly, and you've made a comment about his income. So we will want to tread lightly,
Yes,
but still, we need some response, and the neighbors
yeah.
ought to get some improvement.
Yeah, we have to sit down and talk, maybe. And I know that hoardings is more health department issue, but, and I know that he doesn't want any help, but
Oh, yeah, we've
it
heard
may,
that
it may
for
have to, we're gonna have to
an awful long time.
get a judge ordered to
Yeah,
force ourselves into the property.
yeah.
I mean, I feel bad because you do talk to him, he's a bright guy.
Very bright.
You know what, he's
Yeah.
fine, I know what I'm doing, this is
Yeah.
the way I wanna live, you can't make me change, and he makes all the right arguments for himself. Except that his house is loaded and there's,
Yeah.
you know,
All right, any other
It's always a
comment
tricky
from board
subject.
members about that situation? Okay. Next on your list?
okay, good. Okay, the next one we dealt with, 17-019,
Good.
we've already dealt with that.
Yeah.
And 18-002 we've dealt with. I threw in a file here, anyway, just an update, and basically this had, on the case 18-004, which we had spoken with earlier with Wayne. This is just the details are just the updates regarding the FOI emails and requests.
Oh, okay.
That are at the
Yeah.
end of that, that's all. Just an update of what's contained in the file.
Good.
And then 18-005. This is another one that is already in,
Citation has been
Yes,
issued.
been done.
Fines are accruing.
They had a lot of work done, you know, that they knocked out a lot of the trees, but since then, the lawn has started to over.
I drove by there again over the weekend, and it's really reverting back to
Yeah.
its earlier state.
Attached here, it was an email he sent to me in August. I have removed any overgrowth clean to the house. I am currently in Florida. I will address the front yard work when I return in September. Yeah, that's,
Again, I think it would do him a favor by sending him a letter reminding him funds
Yes.
are accruing.
mhm. Got it. Okay, and then I believe that is,
Yeah, we did 21.
That's it.
Oh, 001.
did that one? That's all. Let you know, one that we had dealt with, I don't have the numbers, but there's one that was going under demolition on the same street as,
Yeah,
Right.
right.
that's still up, but it's prepped for demoing. So
Good.
that's gonna
It's
get done.
prepped for demo, the electric box
Yes.
is staked
Yeah.
in front of it.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure if that's an issue of the builder has it prepped and ready. He's just not ready to start it yet.
Yeah, yes.
But that has closed, it's been sold,
Yeah,
and.
correct.
I noticed that a notice concerning demolition gives a 90-day period though, to respond to it, so it's a pretty slow process.
Oh, yeah. If anybody wants to object to
Yeah,
the
they get 90
Just
days.
So
Mentally the
the
house.
house around the corner from me that has a demo notice on it's gonna sit there for 90 days.
I'm afraid, well, yeah, I think,
Okay.
yeah, read the notice.
Yeah.
All right, anything else? Very productive and just about an hour. Good. Do I hear a motion to adjourn? Thank you, Mr. Lamole. And a second by Mr. Etter. Thank you very much. And everybody put their hand up enthusiastically to adjourn. Thank you. Thank you. Well done. Thank you, Channel 79. We're done.
Next